Today, I'm going to show you how my 41 plus lead generation agencies clients are generating thousands of meetings per month for their clients by using a proper infrastructure, automations, and AI. This is going to be a full demonstration of all the systems we've created for them, how they're using those systems to send millions of emails and generate hundreds of thousands of replies per month. And by the end of this video, you will have a full understanding of how some of the best lead generation agencies around the world operate and how they can guarantee thousands of leads per month to their clients. As a bonus, you'll get to see how we completely automated inbox management for one of our clients using AI and AI agents. If you're new around here, then hi, my name is Renee. I'm the founder of Wingrowth, an AI automation and operations agency that's generated over 500K in revenue the last year alone. This channel is focused on teaching you how we fix real business issues with AI and operations. And so without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so the first thing that's going to be important is to understand how do we set up a proper infrastructure so that you can send a lot of volume, okay? And this doesn't start with just campaigns. It's actually the whole business. How do you operate your agency and your business in general, okay? The way we like to think about this is building a company brain for your business, okay? In the company brain, we like building this inside Airtable and just centralizing every piece of software inside Airtable. For those 41 lead gen agencies, that's exactly what we've done, okay? So we've got our company brain, which is composed of some major functionalities that you're gonna be most of the time having inside your business, but most of the time also on different softwares. So we've got finance tracking, we've got the CRM aspect of it, the data, which is going to be super important, and I'm going to explain this in details. We've got the client management aspect of it. We've also got project management, super important, team management, and knowledge base, okay? So this is how we decide to set up those businesses inside Airtable. We build infrastructure for all those big pieces of the software. So there's in total 7. And when it comes to cold email, we're going to be more talking about data and project management rather than anything else, okay? But it's just important that you understand the global view on this, okay? So if I show you here, we've got how this looks actually inside those business. So I've templatized this. All you're going to see here is dummy data. So there's no leaking data of clients. Basically, we've got dashboards, KPIs, goals, projections, which, you know, it's just business agnostic. Project management as well, it's going to be business agnostic, but it's important because when it comes to managing campaigns, you want to be automating some of the tasks like scraping leads, doing copywriting, and then building out the campaign, and then starting to send the campaign actually. So we've got a project management that's fully integrated for those lead gen agencies. We've got some different views, Gantt charts, and different things really in there that optimize the way they manage their projects. Okay. One of the most important thing is when you're operating hundreds, if not thousands of campaigns for cold emails, because you've got many clients, you need to be tracking like a different pipeline stage. It's like another level of project management. You need to be tracking where your campaigns are at, okay? And you need to be tracking all the data about the campaign. So what we like tracking here, if I go into this, I like tracking who's the copywriter of the campaign, who's the lead scraper, what client is this for. Then things like, okay, the lead list that we've built, what are the roles, what is the company size, what is the niche. If you're using Apollo, we're tracking a search URL so that you can always go back to it. And then copy URL, so this is going to be a Google Doc. So super cool to be tracking the copy on Google Docs, and sometimes you can also have your client approve it if they require approval before sending. And then some notes, okay? The reason why we do this is because we track all the data, and I'm going to show you the data layers after. We track all the data, and so if something performs well, we can go back into, okay, what was the campaign that we're running for them? What was the copywriting? What was the lead list that we were using essentially, okay? And we want to be taking decisions based on data. So those agencies, they don't take decisions based on emotions really. They send a lot of volume, and as soon as something hits, they basically send more volume toward this, and they just make iterations of this winning campaign. You need a proper tracking like this if you want to be doing this. We also track internal lead lists, for example, in here. If you've been doing cold email, you know that your leads often expire, people change jobs, change emails, there's plenty of reasons. And so we've seen that from month to month, you're going to be losing from 3 to 8% of your leads actually. which is a lot. So if you're reusing your lead list and you haven't re-verified all the emails, just be cautious that you're going to be losing 3 to 8% per month of your leads, okay? And this is bad for your infrastructure. Speaking of infrastructure, right now, what's the hardest for lead generation agencies and for any agency or business that's trying to do cold email is actually deliverability, okay? It's been harder and harder to make it work, and so you want to be paying attention to this kind of details, okay? If I show you the stats, let me go back into Calendar, okay? What we want to be doing here is have proper analytics and dashboards that allow you to take informed decisions. You want to store all this data so that you can go back in time and see improvements, or the opposite. And you want to be creating, I'm going to show one of those ratios that I'm going to talk about, but we want to be creating ratios that are going to be informative. So your goal is to be logging into your central hub, your company brain here, and actually quick glance seeing how your clients or how your campaigns, your own campaigns, if you're doing this for your own business, how they're performing. Quick glance. You don't want to be spending too much time with this, okay? But you also, a good start is to have this data. A lot of agencies that begin, they don't have any data to work with, okay? So that's going to be first mistake to fix. If I go back in here, I'm going to give you an example, and this is going to look like all the screenshots that you've seen in the intro, okay? We like tracking. There's what I call the top level stats, the number of emails that you send, the replies that you receive, the interested reply, direct sequence, info sequence, future sequence, custom sequence, not interested sequence. Those here basically are subsequence. So some of our clients, what they do, instead of replying manually to everyone or using AI to reply to people, they templatize their responses. We use subsequence. This is not a topic of this video, but if it interests you, there's plenty of information on subsequence if you're using either Instantly or Smartly, okay? Which are the two software I'd recommend if you're doing cold email. You can filter through this data based on dates or clients. So this helps for you to understand if you've been on track for your KPIs, but this also helps my clients do some reporting for their clients. So if they take meetings, they can be like, okay, we've sent 50K emails this month for you. We've got 314 replies, etc. This is top level data. This is not going to be the most informative one. Now we're going to deep dive into what I call informative stats, okay? The aggregated stats. We've got dashboards like this that are going to give you, okay, basic stats, again, reply ratio per prospect. How many prospects do you need in a lead list to get one reply? This is already nicer. Emails for lead ratio. So how many emails are you actually going to send to receive leads? So, in this case, I got to send 3.5 email for one lead. This is not a good campaign, for example, but this one where I'm going to send 37 email to get one interested reply. I know it's dark here, but basically this one, campaign name Q, it's this. This is a super good campaign. If those replies are interested, there's a nuance here. Then we also track, okay, how many prospects do you need inside a lead list to get an interested reply, an interested lead? So someone that's going to transform into a meeting, right? And we can see, well, normally you need 10 prospects in this campaign queue to get one interested lead. So this is super, super good. So if I was my client, I would put more volume into this, and I create iterations of this campaign and I make sure this is going to run further. Okay. But there's what I call the efficiency ratio. Okay. And I'm going to pop the formula right here. So if you want to build it yourself, you can install this inside your system. But basically, this is a formula that helps you understand if a campaign is good over time. So it takes into consideration the number of leads you have inside the campaign, the number of emails you've sent, and the numbers of interested leads you've received, okay? Because cold email campaigns, they're often going to be more valuable with the first 2 emails, but then after that, with all the follow-ups that you're going to do, they're going to drop, okay? And that's normal, but it doesn't mean the cold email campaign itself is bad. It just means that you need to work on better sequences, but you also maybe want to send more volume and have more leads for emails 1 and 2 of this campaign. Then we're going to have the same stats here. So all my clients have this dashboards, okay? And this is a timeline over time. So over weeks or days, the trend lines basically, okay? So what I would say is the efficiency ratio, the closest to zero, the better the client is performing for you or your own campaigns again. So if the line goes up, it means something is going wrong. Okay, so this is also, we're using stats here to detect problems really quickly. Okay, every morning I tell my clients they should log into this dashboard and they should actually decide and see for themselves if there's something that went wrong. If they see a line going up, there's something happening there. Either with the campaign, it's not as good as they thought, or with delivery for the emails, which basically means you got to do a whole new setup. Okay, so this is really, really important thing. All the stats. This is how the big lead generation agencies out there are able to scale and not just send emails for the sake of sending emails, but also getting interested replies, getting those meetings that actually generate revenue. Okay, this is how all my clients, if you take them together, they're generating over 8 figures total for their own clients. When you're done with your data, there's a second layer to this. Okay, all the good agencies, what they're gonna do, or what you should have in the house if you're doing this for yourself, is a report system. Okay, so if you have your data, you can set up some automated workflows where you're going to take that data and send it by email or Slack, Teams, whatever you're using, just to make sure on a daily basis that everything is going as you think it's going. Okay, and this can also allow you to not log in on the platform and just get, in real-time updates on what's happening. Okay, so here inside, if I show you how do we scrape that data, this example is on Smart Lead. I had a constraint. I want to scrape all the top level campaign data from Smart Lead for a client of mine, but I also want to track and scrape all these sub campaigns, which are subsequence inside Smart Lead. Subsequence are actually treated as separate campaigns, and I want to aggregate this inside Airtable. The workflow looks like this. If I just go back here and I show you the execution, what it does is we start by scraping all the campaigns, then we iterate over all the campaigns and we filter for the active campaigns only, because we don't want to be scraping the data of all the inactive campaigns. From there, what we're going to be doing is decide, okay, does that campaign have subsequence? If it does, it go on the right side. And if it doesn't have any subsequence, we don't want to be spending make operations for no reason. So we're going to be doing the same math calculations, but down below with less operations to do. Okay, so this is going to add inside our table. If I go inside a table here, let me show you guys campaign top level data. This is basically going to have the stats every day under each campaign name, client, by date. Okay, so on the right side, this is all the 5 subsequence that we're running for our clients. We've pretty much templatized the way we're doing service delivery and for them and the way they do service delivery for their client based on our testings, millions of emails. I would recommend using subsequence if you're doing some volume and you don't want to be using AI. Subsequence are going to be what gives you the most efficiency, even though your conversion rate is going to drop a little bit. But then at some point you have to decide, are you going to do more volume or are you going to stay with not so many clients, low volume, and then you reply it manually to everyone. Okay, that's a choice for you to make. If you're doing this for your own business, my advice is actually have your sales people take care of the selling and responding. Okay, this is going to be the highest conversion play that you can do. If you're an agency, you have many clients, actually templatize and use subsequence. Okay, so you can do this in both Instantly or Smart Lead, which are the 2 software again that I recommend using for this. Okay. For the automation, by the way, we use make.com because this has been made on make.com, but this is totally doable on end as well. So, feel free to use what you know. Okay, so how do we actually use AI in this system? This system is super complex, by the way. It's 7 big functionalities, different software, into one big software inside our table. And there's 80+ automations for each client. Okay, so this is the base default product that we sell to our clients that are lead gen agencies. But we do use AI in a lot of their scenarios. And here are the 7 big pillars of how we use AIs, okay? And I'm not talking about AI agent. I'm talking about AI. So, the classic ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini that we're talking about. Basically, we use it for classification, text creation, research and data enrichment, summaries, data extraction, sentiment analysis, and data transformation. At the end of the video, I'm going to be showing you how we use sentiment analysis, data extraction, and transformation to actually, with an AI agent, fully automate the inbox management. So stay tuned for this if you're actually interested in seeing how we use AI agents for real productized business. Okay, so here's an example of a workflow where we actually use AI in the data extraction part of it to amplify our clients' workflows, okay? So this is for whenever a prospect actually book a meeting inside our client's calendar. We want to be tracking all of the meetings that are generated so that our clients can have better reporting and actually understand what's their impact on their clients' businesses, okay? And this is going to be super useful so that you can also calculate the cost per meetings that you have after and the customer acquisition cost for the cold email channel. Okay, so if you're lead gen agencies and you can calculate this is going to help you understand what's your ROI on your service. And if you're a business that do cold email for yourself, this is going to help you understand should you be putting more money towards cold email or ads or other acquisition channel, because you can compare the different customer acquisition costs, really. Okay, so here we use AI to basically, as if we haven't found the lead that booked the meeting inside our own database, it's going to be a condition. We go and look on the domain itself. Okay, can we find this person? Is it an employee of the person that we've been doing outreach to? Because often we're going to be cold emailing, the C-suits, but then they're going to ask their own employee to take the meeting with you. And so email is not going to be a unique key. The name's not going to be the unique key. It's not going to match. And so you can work with domain. And to do this easily, we use ChatGPT in this instance to check this. And then here, if I just zoom on this, we basically, this doesn't just get first name and last name, but this basically just get the data and then enrich on the Apollo API, and we get all the data about that person that just booked the meeting. And if it's it tells us if it's a company that we've actually been doing outreach to. Okay, so super valid example of how we use AI. Towards the end of the video, I'm going to be showing you how we use AI plus AI agents to automate the full inbox management experience. Okay, so I just want to come back here to why am I talking about data so much and project management? How do those two go together? Okay, if you look at the top agencies out there that are operating, and not just for cold email, they're going to have a lot of data. Okay, and if you want to be ready as an agency to implement AI into your agency or your business, you need to have data and you need to store it well. Okay, so super important if you're not doing this, and I know by experience working with small to big agencies, basically, that the small ones tend to not actually track any data, and even some big agencies don't actually track everything they need. Okay, so pay attention to this, make sure you've got all your metrics, and then from there, I just want you to think about what's possible when you collect certain data. Okay, here's an example. If you collect data about campaigns and you just do a ratio for basically you're checking bounce and email sent, and you determine that you've got a very high bounce rate compared to the email that you sent, this might be an indication that you need to stop this campaign because one, either you have a problem with your lead list that's not verified, or two, your cold email setup needs to be redone because right now you're going into spam, plus you're bouncing a lot, okay? You can automate this type of calculations and send you a notification inside Slack, Teams, whatever you're choosing, to actually prevent you from making these mistakes over many days or weeks, okay? Some of the big agencies I was working with actually had nothing like this in place, and it was taking them weeks to get this information, okay? When you play the cold email game, you want to be very quick at spotting the mistakes if you actually want this to be profitable, okay? I'm probably not learning you this, maybe you're learning this, but every time you do a cold email setup with new email and domains, you need to at least warm up 14 days, okay? So it means every time you have to redo a setup, there's a 14-day delay before you actually see results, okay? So make sure you have your data and use this to help you in many different aspects of your business. You can also automate task creation based on those triggers, okay? So you need to redo a setup, automate task creation, send this to this employee, you gotta create a new, you gotta purchase 10 new domains, and you gotta create a new setup. Okay. So I want you to be thinking like this. This is how you can templatize your business, and this is how the big lead gen agencies and the agencies, it's business agnostic, actually templatize their business, and the owners can remove themselves from their business eventually. Okay. All right, let's get into what you're actually interested on. How did we use AI plus AI agent to fully automate inbox management? Okay. And I'm not talking about some generic email responses with some M dash inside. This is pretty lame. I'm talking about something that's been trained on a lot of data to reply exactly like the owner would reply, okay, based on if the lead's interested, not interested, okay? So there's different segment to this. I'm not going to be showing you the inside and I'm going to be showing you the blueprint that we have, so that if you want to make this for yourself, you can actually see this, think about it, and make it for yourself. But just know that some principles that I'm going to be talking about are available in other videos that I have, like the content engine system, where I'm talking about how do you actually train Claude, which is the best AI for writing as of the time of making this video, on your unique writing style. And so once you do this, how do you use your writing style plus AI to classify the different leads to reply like you would reply to prospects, okay? We have to go another step. We don't want to be replying to prospects with M dash, you know, that's a classic and famous thing that you see in every LinkedIn post now, okay? Let's get right into it. So here, if I go down, I'm gonna start very quick at the beginning. You can do this with Smartly instantly. It's not a problem, okay? Those are the only two sending software I recommend because their APIs are also good so that you can integrate everything, okay? I'm a Smartly partner. I'm not an Instantly partner. I like Smartly. I use Smartly every day. But that said, I've done work for Instantly for different clients, so I know it works, okay? You could also be using both. Some clients of mine use both platforms as some kind of way of mitigating the risk, okay? If something was to happen for a platform, they got the other platform running as well, okay? If you're a bigger lead gen agency, don't do this. All right, so what we've got is every time we have a reply inside Smartly and Instantly, there's two ways to proceed here. And if you proceed the first way, which is not fully automated, then it's going to remove the AI classification part in the workflow, okay? The first way is that you have your inbox manager manually tagged, okay? Interested lead, require more information, not interested, okay? Based on this, you're going to send information to NAM. The second way is basically that we send all the replies to NAM, and then we're going to use AI to classify all those replies. So here's a caveat with this, okay? The first thing is you need a lot of data on what an interested reply actually looks like for your business and your offer, and what a not interested reply looks like, okay? Because you don't want to be mixing those things up. So I recommend, if you haven't been tracking any data, start with the first option. If you have the data because you've been sending millions of cold email and you've been tracking them, then you can go with option 2, which is going to remove the whole inbox management aspect of your business, okay? If you use option 2, here's what we do, okay? And don't think about this if you're using option 1. If you use option 2, we're going to go into NAN with a webhook, and the first thing that we do is we have an AI, and we're using 4.1 mini as of the time of making this video, okay, to classify the incoming email, okay? So this AI actually has access to, I haven't put it, but this AI has access to memory, whether it is a vectorized database, whether it is Airtable, Google Sheet, where you keep your replies. It has access to something that tells it, okay, an interested reply looks like this, and not interested reply looks like this, okay? From there, we want to classify. Here in this case, we've done one route, goes to the main AI agent, and for this, because it's going to be writing a response, we use Claude 4.0 right now that just came out. Claude is the software, well, the AI I would recommend for writing as of the time of making this video, but I mean, it changed every week. So just stay updated with the AI and build it so that you can change the AI models. Like, I never build something that's going to be bound to a specific AI model, because in 2 weeks, it's going to be not up to date anymore. Okay. So what we do is we have access to Claude for writing. Our memory is going to have access to this vectorized database or this Airtable database or Google Sheet, whatever you're tracking off. Just as, okay, how do I reply to an interested reply? How do I reply to a not interested reply? Do I even reply? Okay. This is going to be in the memory segment. And to the assistant prompt, we're going to have a writer profile. So remember I said, if you go on my content engine video, if you go on my channel and you go into the videos, I'm going to be talking about how to do a writer profile. And I also give the free JSONs files for this, okay? So you can get started on this right now, okay? Just go on my channel, click on that video, click on the link that's going to give the free resources and use it. The assistant prompt is going to have our writer profile, which is basically a psychological profile of how the writer writes, okay? Super in depth. We're going to have this into the assistant prompt. The assistant prompt is also going to contain instructions on how to use the different tools, okay? If you're not sure on how to write this, I have already 2 videos on me building AI agents for Facebook ads and also for Go High Level CRM, where I show the full prompt. So if you're not sure how to build a prompt for an AI agent, go and watch those videos and it's going to show you how I like to do them, okay? Then we have tools. So depending on where the email is from, so are we using Smarty instantly? You might want to have both, or you might just want to remove one. Okay, so you might just going to build it for instantly, for instance. In this case, we're using both. And you're going to have a calendar agent. Why do you have a calendar agent here? Okay, that's kind of why we're using an AI agent to do this and not just AI. If the prospect says, are you available tomorrow at 10 a.m. East? We want to have the ability for the AI to book the meeting for us. Okay, that's the one extra layer that justifies the use of using an AI agent over simple AI, okay? A lot of the people are gonna use simple like OpenAI, ChatGPT, or Claude to just take incoming email, draft reply, send it to prospect. This is not the way to go. If you wanna be optimal, you wanna use the best tools out there, this is how we've built it, okay? So it's gonna give basically the possibility also to, if the prospect's interested to book a meeting, the AI agent is going to go into the calendar agent. Okay, this is a sub agent basically. And we've built this sub agent, this calendar agent, inside my Go High Level CRM video. So go and check it out to see how we've built it. It's the same one. It's going to go and check my availabilities and it's going to propose to the prospect two time slots basically that are available. And the copywriting is also going to give the Calendly link. So there's 2 proposed time plus the Calendly link, okay? But this is really up to you how you want to be sending replies for this sort of stuff, okay? We've chosen to do it like this, and so far pretty happy with this, okay? Because there's a lot of back and forth that's completely removed. I must say, this is working super fine right now for our client, but there's still sometimes a human in the loop that checks that everything works well, because AI agents are going to hallucinate some of the time, okay? So you just got to make sure that you check everything's fine. Update the model. 4.0 is already a huge upgrade over 3.7. By the way, yeah, this is Cloud Sonnet, not Opus. Make sure you put Sonnet because Opus is not cheap and it's not really made for this. But yeah, that's pretty much how we built the AI agent itself. If you're interested into this, I might make a video where I'm going to build the whole thing again, give the JSON, but without my client's data, and show you how to train it with your own data, okay? If you'd like this, please tell me in the comments, like this video, subscribe. It's gonna inform me on if you guys actually like this type of content. And yeah, if you like this video and you found it very informative and you want more of this, I have actually made a video about an AI agent that we've installed for e-commerce business that do ads basically. And this AI agent analyze and optimize those ads and give insights 10x faster. So if you'd like to watch it, you can click right here and you're going to have a pretty good idea of how we build AI agents that actually functions inside real business. So they are in production mode.